So let me introduce Sue Homola. Sue is our rep from here in Hollis. She's an Air Force veteran. Her career in the Air Force was aviation metrology. So when you have bad weather here on New England, she can actually speak to why that is. She's currently working in the field of emergency management. She's the vice chair of the Hollis Republican Town Committee, and she's one of our own. So welcome.
Is that working all right? Okay. Thank you very much. I'm a new rep. I'm a new rep this year, so everything that I'm doing is brand new and interesting. And I actually just want to say in my limited experience, the one thing I'd want to say, and I know that Senator Avard has already spoken about this, but Keith Ammon deserves so much credit, and his wife, Susan, deserves a lot of credit for the amount of opposition that they knew they would face. Here's one thing that we all know what it would theoretically feel like to face a ton of opposition, and that's a whole different thing than standing up and saying you will take every hit yourself. And that just can't be overstated. We're standing here because you had the courage to stand here, Keith. And I just want to say thank you again. And I also want to thank you, Ms. Campbell, I hope I got your name right, but I'm really glad that you're here, and you said a lot of things that touched my heart. Personally, what really touched my heart was that your thoughts that Boston has come a long way. And my family, my mom's side, they spent their lives in Charleston's project. And my grandmother stayed there till the day she died. My older brother lived his first 9 years there with my mom as a single mom. And I know how far Boston's come. You know, my grandmother, when she told her all Irish family on the south side that she was going to marry a Sicilian from the north side, they said, okay, don't come home. When they had their children, and my half Irish, half Italian mom and uncles went to school, they had to go to Catholic school because they would have gotten beat up in the public school. And Boston's come a long way. Boston deserves a lot of credit. And I'm really proud of Boston. And there's something about that no matter what in my family, we always knew that no matter where we lived, we were from Boston. And so I just want to say thank you for advocating for that, but also for showing how far that they've come. It's so true. I wish you every success. One of the things that I just want to very briefly say that everybody else here that's going to speak has a lot more information than I do. So what I want to do is I just want to let you know that I get emails from people regularly, from Hollis residents who've been angry about the HB 544, this bill. But when they send me these emails, they actually say, well, you know, if you pass this, you're preventing free speech, you're preventing this, and all the things that Representative Ammon had said. And I always reply back to them that, you know, try to say, no, it doesn't do this and it doesn't. There's a lot of misconceptions. I know it's a very passionate topic. But I always try to reply back with honesty and calmness. And one of the things that somebody had said was, that's not going on here in Hollis, and I hear that quite a few bits. And I actually, what I wanted to do is I just want to let you know that in addition to these emails I also get emails from parents who tell me some things. And I just wanted to share this very briefly, and this is really all I wanted to say tonight, was, so I have some comments from Hollis Elementary and the high school. And so in 2019, a parent, their child had come home and was told at school, first grade, Columbus is evil. And the second thing they were told was Thanksgiving celebrates white people doing bad things, and it should not be celebrated. In 2020, in a second grade, this was a parent who overheard this on Zoom, the white people brought slavery to the Americas. And the second thing they heard their second grader being taught was that it was white people who created slavery. In 2021, this year, in third grade, they overheard on Zoom, white people cause racism, white people treat people in very bad ways because they have the power, and white people are the only ones who can be racist. And that was what was taught to their third grader. And here's a couple statements from some high schoolers. This is a male, he's grade 11. It said, "I'm afraid to share my beliefs. This is because we're labeled as racist and sexist for doing so. I have been pressured by a few teachers to believe different political views, and it made me very uncomfortable. Critical race theory teachings only add to the division in our school." A female 12th grade. "One teacher discussed white privilege. We are basically being told that only white people can be racist against other races. There are more students of the COOP, the high school cooperative, who are too afraid to come forward because it is common now that you'll be labeled and judged if you speak up." Another female 12th grade. "At Hollis Brookline School, things like intersectionality and tolerance are only applied to those who fit within specific agendas. I know quite a few students like myself who were forced to remain silent because of the risk to their social status." Female 11th grade. "One day in history class, I challenged a teacher's left-leaning opinion, and she completely shut down my opinion and everything I said, tearing me to shreds. I have been bullied by teachers and students and told that I'm a racist and an idiot." And last, this is another 12th grader. "I have been cyberbullied for my beliefs in school, kicked out of groups, sent hateful texts. Kids like me rarely share our beliefs. Left-wing discussions usually show up in English and social studies classes, but every once in a while they show up in a STEM class, and it has gotten worse this year." So one of the things that I tell people is that we have a great school here in Hollis Brookline. We have wonderful teachers. We have kind people. We have kind staff. There's a lot of great things going on here. But just because we have this, it doesn't mean that some of these examples don't bubble through. I actually just answered a lady just the other day when I had said, "Listen, I receive emails from people that say these things, and it's not widespread, and I don't know how widespread it is. This is just the teachers that the students have said things. The students have brought things to their parents." But she said, "I'm sorry, I have 4 kids in school, and I just don't believe you." And I said, "Okay, you don't have to. It's all right. But I'm just letting you know I also receive these emails from people who have kids in school." And so I would just like to say that I'm just really glad that we're having this conversation. And I think one of the things, I'll just end with the fact that, as Keith said, this was a shot across the bow. I mean, people, we haven't stood up for ourselves, and we haven't stood up for what our kids are being taught in a really long time. And I'm really glad to have this conversation. I'm really glad that you're all here tonight. And so I just want to say thank you to our speakers who are coming after me, because that's who we're really here to hear as well. So thank you.
Croc TV.